what he was looking for. You know, he is always kind of like dazed and confused, and he trusts the people that he, you know, that type of a deal.
I'm going to have to defer to superior knowledge on that one because I am one of the few people in the world maybe not so familiar with that show. I hope you run into Corey and you can ask him that question. But there was certainly nothing intended in that regard.
Do we have another question? Oh. He's running up the stairs in the center.
So I noticed that there are several shots of New York City throughout the movie, so I was wondering how you intended the city to play a role in the development of the characters and the plot line.
Well, I've lived here for since 1990 when I came for graduate school, and I could never leave. I met my wife in graduate school. Wait a minute, no, I came in 1986, actually. I met my wife, and we're raising a family here now. And it's taken me a long time. I grew up in Oklahoma. I didn't want to make a film that took place in the city and dealt with city life until I really had it in my bones. And it took a long time, and I think that the city, hopefully, is an indelible part of the film. This movie is, as you can see, deals with a lot of large issues and kind of swings for the fences in that regard. And I think the only way to achieve the universal is to be incredibly and meticulously specific. And so thanks to some great producing on the part of my producing team, and the wonderful photography and production design and costume design of Christina Voros and Dina Goldman and Annie Simon, and these fantastic actors, all of whom are New York actors. We try to achieve something specific and make the city breathe in the movie.
Great, we have a question right down here.
Hello, firstly I'd like to say congratulations and thank you, it was an absolutely brilliant film. There are obviously so many lovely strands interwoven throughout the piece. I just would love to know a little bit about the rehearsal process.
You know, I love rehearsal, and I try to, and I really do try to rehearse my movies, but on these low-budget indie films with this level of actor, it's difficult to achieve that because they're busy. And with the very little that's paid them, we're just happy they come and do the movie at all. And so there's extensive and intense rehearsal on the day in the case of this movie. And if any of you guys want to chime in about that, you can. But I'd be lying if I said we had a long rehearsal process, because we did not.
Anyone want to add to that?
I think it's a tribute to Tim that it felt like there was time enough to do the movie, even though there wasn't really time.
Okay, we have a question up at the top on the left.
A quick question. So the movie starts with the murder, and we get to learn about each of the characters and what led to it. However, we never get to learn about the murderer. So I'm really curious about the decision to exclude the story of the murderer and what led you to that choice.
Yeah, I guess I didn't make an active decision to exclude him. I just felt that Ken's character and his journey was, I don't know, something on which I wanted to focus more. And I guess that by dealing less with the murderer, you can be led as an audience member to believe, which is one of the, I guess it's a narrative strategy of the movie, is to lead you to believe that it's Ken's character and Sam's character on a collision course, and that he's gonna commit the murder, and then you're surprised the more you learn about this character that he's incredibly erudite. He's a writer for whom it didn't work out. He's educated, went to a great school, has this sort of astonishing vocabulary mixed up with street argot. And I think that if we had explored the junkie character who does kill Sam's character, that you would perhaps not suspect that it was Ken's character and there wouldn't be a surprise there.
Thank you. We have another question. Oh, right here.
Hey Laurie, great film. I'm a Columbia student, so I guess shameless plug. Maybe towards Mr. Waterston, how was filming in Columbia? And Mr. Nelson, how was Columbia? And I'm sorry in advance if they are kind of ready.
How was Columbia what?
Just really how was like filming in Columbia, and was it okay? And Mr. Waterston, how did you feel about sort of being on campus?
Well, is it okay to say?
Yeah.
You're a student at Columbia? We fooled you.
Well, I know the classrooms didn't look familiar, but the campus...
Oh, you know it wasn't. You fooled. We didn't fool you. It was great filming there. You don't know this, Tim, but the building that I went to go into, I'm going to do Prospero and the Tempest in the Park, and the dramaturge is a professor at Columbia named James Shapiro, and that's where his office is. Isn't that wild?
We did shoot on the campus of Columbia. The classrooms were out of Brooklyn College. And the real salve in terms of getting a film at Columbia is that one of our producers, Julie Buck, was a graduate student in the film program there. And so our little low-budget movie was given the red carpet there, and Columbia was incredibly kind to us.
Okay, we have a question all the way to the left.
Hi, I really liked the movie. It was really good. Thank you. I was wondering, there were like a couple different parenting methods, like suburban and city life. So I was wondering to hear some of the cast's opinions about like raising kids, and how did you feel about the way they dealt with it in the movie?
Jessica, you want to start? And because
Parenting.
many of us are parents here, yeah.
You want to know about my own parenting methods? That would take too long. But I think the parenting methods are in the writing, and they're really good. I think I'm going to try some. The clarity. I think the parenting methods, and I'm being very honest, the clarity of what you sort of think of as different styles is actually the way Tim talked to us. And it's in the writing, and it's in the specificity of what he asked us to do. So you sort of don't think too much about like what method of parenting, you just think about what Tim is saying works. That was my experience. Does anybody else? Are there any other parents? Yeah.
I'm a parent in the movie. I'm also a parent in real life. I don't behave like that with my own children. Yet, I'm heading there. No, I'm not at all, but I do. No, but I could relate to it on some level. That's why I wanted the part so badly. But the thing I loved about the script and the characters was the lack of judgment on them for their behavior. You know, I mean, even I was just saying that as a mistress, that character was so sympathetic, you know, and that as a mother, my character, I mean, she does a lot of things that I would judge probably if I saw a friend do them, but I really think in this film, you do sympathize with all these characters, and there's just so much truth in it. So anyway, that's what I have to add. Just that I wouldn't do it myself.
Are you pointing at me?
Your parenting style?
I'm a parent. One wonderful daughter. I don't know, I think we find, I didn't think about it much. I was more concentrated on my wonderful husband because our son has grown up and he has a family of his own. So, and I think he obviously has issues as well, probably from his parents in some way, but as we all do.
It certainly had nothing to do with me.
To do with you. But yeah, no, I thought it was it was a wonderful film to be a part of. Try to make it as natural as possible and as believable as possible. And my little white dog was my little white dog. Jakey, he was so brilliant. So I'll pass.
You know, all I'll say is that I'm also a parent. And I guess all the parents are some version of I don't mean this to be solipsistic or self-centered, but when you write, it's all a version of you in your life. And you know, I think I'm can be credited for and am guilty of much of what goes on in the movie. I mean, you know, I'm certainly no teetotaler. You know, when the kid says, "What's the difference between pot and wine?" You know, one of my children could say that to me, and you know, so you end up making this stew and different aspects of yourself and your own life and your own experiences just bubble to the top of it and appear, and then they boil back down and other aspects come up. And so it's an honest combination of a lot of parenting, much of which I'm guilty of myself and can be credited for myself. And I was lucky to have performers willing to find their own honest versions of it. And these young performers who play our children. As well.
Great. We have another question right in the center here.
Hi. Great movie. Really enjoyed it. I had a question for the actors, I guess, as a whole. It seemed like everybody in this movie was either waiting for some sort of waiting, I think would be the theme of it, whether it was death or answers to philosophical questions. I'm just wondering what any of you had to take from that as far as what you took from these questions. Did you have any answers? What you think your characters, did they have any answers? I'm just wondering, any actors to chime in on that?
Thank you. I think my character was sort of such an uncomfortable position role to play, sort of the mistress. I think I just wanted to sort of try and find the compassion for this woman and her sort of confused longing for a man that she just can't have, and sort of the pain of being in love with someone who she knows is the wrong person for her, probably someone she should move far away from, and sort of finding that was yeah, it was really interesting and really grateful to him for guiding me through that.
I'll say something. I felt, you say waiting, I never felt like my character was waiting for something. I just always felt like it was trying to survive the present moment and then to get to the next moment, and then hopefully it will all, like, this journey will soon be over if I can just survive this moment right now. So that's as far as I went into the sort of theme that you're talking about, I guess.